tired and stressed, and my coping mechanism is baking. So today we're making lazy cupcakes. Let's go. So you're gonna start by dumping in all of your wet ingredients. And by wet, I really do mean wet. None of that bullshit with sugar is a wet ingredient. I don't deal with that. Are you a liquid or are you not a liquid? So now, in there I have a cup of milk, half a cup of butter, and I'm gonna put in 2 eggs. Please don't judge the way I crack eggs. I almost never get shells in there. And even if I do, I just leave them in there, because these are lazy cupcakes. Your wet ingredients also imply some vanilla extract. I don't measure that shit. Just dump it in. It's a flavor enhancer, it doesn't need to be perfectly measured. And we're gonna give that a mix to combine, just to, stop the eggs from being whole. By the way, make sure your butter is melted but not extremely hot, because you're gonna cook your eggs. Ask me how I know that. You got a disgusting wet mixture. Now we're gonna add our sugars. And I say sugar plural because some recipes have many types of sugar. Mine doesn't. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just gonna use one type of sugar because that's who I am. Adding about a cup. And when I say about, I really do mean about. Dumping it in. And mixing to make sure there are no clumps of brown sugar. You can use a whisk at that point, but if you use a whisk, that means you have to wash a whisk afterwards. And these are lazy cupcakes. So we're not gonna do that. No, sir. Then you push that away and bring back your measuring cup. You don't need to wash it in between, it's all going in the same place anyway. And adding a cup and 3/4 of all-purpose flour. That's about it. Dumping it in. Don't bother sifting it, this is a lie of life. Actually, that's not true. Sifting does help to get a better consistency with less lumps, but these are lazy cupcakes. Just mix until you achieve an amount of lump that you find acceptable. Don't mind me just hitting my tripod, this is great. And now my spoon is full of stuff. I'm gonna go rinse it, 1 second. Cool, my spoon is no longer full of batter. And as I was saying, just mix until the amount of lumps is acceptable to you. If you're baking for other people and you want to impress your mother-in-law or some shit, maybe sift your flour and whisk with an actual whisk, not a spoon, and then you'll get less lumps. But I am baking this for me and myself, maybe my boyfriend if he's nice enough. So lumps are not a priority. Now, might I remind you, this is a coping mechanism, which means it's gonna contain chocolate. We're gonna include 2/3 of a cup of cocoa. Once again, the better quality cocoa, the better your cupcakes are gonna be. Mine is No Name, which is a Canadian brand that is basically very low quality but very good price. So these are not gonna taste luxurious. They're gonna taste like chocolate. So while I'm mixing, I'm gonna give you some life advice. All of the advice you get from cooking books or TV shows or chefs, like sift your flour, use a whisk, use the best quality of ingredients possible. That is all amazing advice. Godspeed to you if you can follow it all. But these are people that cook for a living. I'm not one of those people. I'm a home cook. I cook for the hell of it because it makes me happy. It doesn't need to be perfect. And it doesn't need to be the same every time. Okay, we got batter. We must not forget to put in our leavening agents, because if we do, we're gonna have flat cupcakes. Leavening agents are baking powder, and baking soda. These are basically the only things you really need to measure. Because once again, measure your ingredients with precision is another lie of life. You can do it if you want your recipe to be exactly the same all the time, but if you don't really give a crap about consistency, then all you need to measure is your leavening agents. That's just salt, don't mind it. Because the rest of your ingredients either give your recipe taste or texture. I recommend you always taste your batter before putting it in the oven, because you know it's fun. So you'll know if there's a problem with taste by tasting it, and you know if there's going to be a problem of texture by just running it. And if you find that your batter is too runny, you add flour, and if you find that your batter is too thick, you add your liquid, either milk or water or oil if you're like that. But that's it. That's my batter. Now the recipe I'm using does not call for chocolate chips, but I'm gonna put in anyway. Only problem is I don't have chocolate chips right now, but I do have some chocolate drops from like 6 months ago. They look like this, and they're delicious. You're supposed to make like fondue with it. I usually just eat them. Also, there wasn't much left in the bag, so good way to use up your food. And boom, batter. This took me exactly 11 minutes and 35 seconds. And I was babbling the whole time like an idiot. So you can do this batter in under 10 minutes and then bake it for 20 minutes, and in half an hour you have muffins. Which is part of the lazy thing. Because sometimes you want to bake or you want to eat baked goods and you don't want to spend 3 hours slaving away in the kitchen. Okay, I gotta stop mixing this. By the way, you're not supposed to overmix your batter because it fucks up your flour. Don't do what I did. Then we bring in the muffin tray. The molds are all greased up. Let's grab the batter. No, don't fall in the spoon. Good. Almost made my spoon fall in again. And then you're gonna dump the batter into the molds. If you're like me and you're scared of that step, you can use a measuring cup. It's a lot easier than dumping it into muffin molds. And then bring in the muffin tray and put in your batter. And there you go. Yes, I'm aware that I did a sloppy job. It's the best I can do, okay? So what I do to fix my sloppy job is I go back in with a little Scott towel and I just try to wipe off as much batter as I can without making things worse. And then I'm just gonna put you on me. Don't mind the fact that my tripod was sitting on a box for climbing shoes. It's life. Come on, we did that last week and it worked. Gonna grab my muffin tray and I'm gonna bring it all the way to my oven that, by the way, I preheated at 375. Preheating your oven is kind of important. And boom, now we wait. Put a timer on your phone, because if you don't, you're gonna forget about them. And let's get those babies out. They are looking good. Don't mind that little one just vibing while all of the other ones are chunky boys. I'm sorry, little one. Boom, we have lazy cupcakes. In order to be extra lazy with it, we're gonna let them cool like 5 minutes in the tins, because that way they're gonna be easier to remove. If you have overcooked your muffins, like many of us do, skip that step, just take them off right away. And there you go, guys. That's how I make lazy muffins. I lied when I said they were cupcakes. Do I look like someone who has time to make buttercream? Please. So yes, look at them, admire them. These are the 3 prettiest of the batch of 12, that is why they're on the plate. Also, I already ate one. They're delicious. That's it. I'm gonna go back to studying and I'm probably gonna eat like 6 or 7 of those today. Is it a problem? Yes. Do I intend to do anything about it? No. I'll see you guys next week. Bye! Actually, I should probably stop saying I'll see you guys next week because with my school schedule, publishing a video every week is kind of hard. I know the bar was already kind of low, but it's getting even lower, so I'll see you guys the next time I upload. Bye for real now.